Good evening, everyone, and welcome to all the participants. Join in the daily virtual program on work-life balance conducted by Professional Skill Enrichment Committee of ICAI in association with Heartfulness. We have with us today's resource person, Mr. Sulabh Mishra and Ms. Sujata Mishra, and Mr. Deepak Kanduri, sir, from Heartfulness Institute. We welcome you all on this platform, and with this, I'm introducing our today's resource person, Mr. Sulabh Mishra. Sulabh Shah has been a dedicated heartfulness meditation trainer since 2010 and has been participating meditation since 1999. His deep commitment to heartfulness and professional development is reflecting in his entrepreneur endeavor and professional achievements. Sulabh Mishra sir is the founder and chairman of several paramedical institutes. He is also running a Bright Minds, a cognitive development program designed for children and seniors since 2017. In his role as cognitive coach, he addresses a significant gap in the academic field by incorporating tools and exercises that promote social, emotional, and ethical learning, alongside training the heart to harness intuition. Before embarking on his entrepreneur journey, Sulabh sir gained extensive experience in the IT sector, where he managed IT projects for healthcare clients. He deserves background and holistic approach to cognitive and emotional development makes him a distinguished leader in his field. With this brief introduction, I'm handing over this session to Sulabh sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your kind words. Can I get the spotlight?
Yes, sir. You are on the spotlight. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So today's session, I wanted to take neuroscience and give the understanding of meditation from neuroscience perspective. What the scientific community is telling about meditation and its benefit and how it gained so much prominence in the scientific community, what happened in the research area that started giving so much importance to meditation. So, but before we embark on this journey for today's session, let's center ourselves, let's connect with our deepest core, let's connect with our heart. So please close your eyes, make a suggestion that your heart is full of love and compassion. You are deeply connected with this inner resource. With this connection, you are able to access all the resources available to us, which is present in our heart. As this connection is strengthening, imagine the qualities of heart are overpowering you. That is, you are becoming more loving, compassionate. As you access the resources of the heart, the stillness in your heart, the peace in your heart is also available to you. And this stillness and peace is also overpowering you. And you are becoming more still, more peaceful. Let's begin our session for today. We have a presentation. So let me pull up my PowerPoint slides so that we can share with you all. Okay. So today I want to talk about the neuroscience of meditation. In 2010, a paper was published with the title, "A Wandering Mind is an Unhappy Mind." This was a very well studied, very well reviewed paper. It gathered a lot of attention. Now, the title itself said, "A wandering mind is an unhappy mind." So, today I'm going to talk about what is this wandering mind, why our mind wanders, and how meditation can help us reduce this mind wandering. Okay. So, we need to understand two basic network in our brain. There is one network which is known as default mode network, and the other one is task positive network. Okay, think of default mode network as the network which is engaged when your mind is not doing any particular thing. So it is at rest. You're not engaging your mind in any external task oriented work. So you are just daydreaming. Or if you are sitting in a boring lecture and your mind is wandering, this is when your default mode network is engaged. Okay. Now, it also leads to rumination. It also leads to self-referential thoughts. And what science has found, what the researchers are telling us, that when this default mode network is engaged, it is not good for us. It leads to anxiety. It can if lead to negative thoughts, and if negative thoughts get strengthened, it can lead to uh, stress, depression. So a lot of negativity is associated with default mode network. We don't want this default mode network to be overactive. We want to reduce or diminish the activity of default mode network. Okay. On the other hand, we have task positive network. Now, this task positive network gets engaged when you are doing some focused work, like you are listening to a lecture. Hopefully, this lecture is interesting and you are getting engaged and you are enjoying it. So, your focus is oriented towards listening to this lecture. Your task positive network is engaged. You are able to listen to the lecture without getting distracted, or you are doing some activity in your office, in your workplace, where you are not getting distracted. That's when your task positive network is engaged. Now, these two networks are never active at the same time. Okay. Now, what we have found, what the scientists have found is that meditation decreases default mode network activity. So think of it like this: how we meditate. Just recall what we you have been hearing in these series. How we have to do meditation. When we start our meditation, at that time we bring our focus on an idea that the source of divine light is present in my heart. Right? This is what we have been telling you in this series. Now, as soon as you bring your focus on this idea by giving this thought, you have engaged your task positive network. Okay. But there is not much to think about this divine light. You have not seen divinity. So, how can you see divine light? This is a very subtle idea. There is not much attribute in this idea to think about. I mean, if even if there was light, you could have thought about luminosity, you could have thought about uh, shape of the diya or something like that. But here we are talking about divine light. Even that attribute is missing. The luminosity is missing. So there is not much to think about. It's so subtle. It's actually the subtlest possible idea that heartfulness masters could think of. That's why they came up with this idea to meditate upon. Okay. Now, when there is not much to think about, obviously mind will wander to something else. It will start thinking about what happened in the past, or it will start planning for the future. It will start thinking about all the unfinished agendas, tasks that you have pending. Now, as soon as all these things are happening, your task positive network has now got deactivated and your default mode network has got activated. Okay. Now, again, recall you have been told that when you are meditating, you should ignore other thoughts. You should not be mindful of them. Treat them as uninvited guests, right? This is what we teach in meditation. But do not fight, because as you will fight, your attention will give power to your mind and it will become more powerful, and then it will become a real struggle. So, the idea here is that we will sit as a witness, witnessing the wanderings of the mind. This is also known as meta awareness. What is the word meta meaning? Meta means focusing, it's like this. If 10 studies were done on meditation, and then you study all these 10 studies and come up with some findings, then it is said meta research on meditation. So, studying the study of meditation. Similarly, when you are aware of where your awareness is drifting, it is known as meta awareness. Okay. So, we have to sit with the idea that I am going to not get involved with my mind. I will be just observing or witnessing where my awareness is drifting. And there will come a time when you will realize that I have drifted away. Okay, obviously, you will realize it that you are not meditating on this original idea. So, at that time, you are advised to bring back to this original idea that I am meditating. As soon as you give this idea that I am meditating, you are again engaging your task positive network, isn't it? Again, your task positive network is engaged. But then after some time, or maybe even immediately, your mind will drift again. Another thought will take over. Again, there will come a time when you will realize that you have drifted away. You again remind yourself that I am meditating. It again comes back to this idea that there is presence of divine light. You don't have to repeat the whole words. I'm meditating will bring back this idea all over again. Now, see what is happening with all this. Once you are engaging your task positive network, then it is disconnected and default mode takes over. Then default mode is disconnected, task positive takes over. This is actually training your mind. This is the training that we want to provide to our mind. I will give you a very simple analogy. You go to a gym, you want to build your muscles, right? Your biceps. Will you develop your biceps if you just raise your hand like this? No, right? You need to be doing push-ups or pull-ups or whatever. Then only your brain will, your biceps will build. Similarly, when this switching is happening between default mode and task positive, this is where your mind is actually getting exercise. And that's how you are developing your mental muscles, so to speak. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper to understand what is happening in default mode, what is happening in task positive. So as to give you a better understanding. So let's see first default mode network. Now, default mode network is active when the mind is at rest, as I said before. and is not focused on external task. If you don't know what is mind wandering I'm referring to, what I mean here is spontaneous thoughts drifting from the present. You are present in a lecture, but you're thinking about somewhere else. That's mind wandering. What is self-referential thinking? Again, thoughts about oneself and personal experiences. Okay. Rumination, again, repetitive, unproductive thinking about the past. You cannot do anything about what has happened in the past, but you're still thinking about it. Why it happened to me? Why I have to be punished like this? What did I do wrong? Why should I go through all these sufferings? This is unproductive thinking about the past, right? That's a rumination. It all is happening under default mode network. Then we have egocentric processing, thoughts about personal goals and desires. You're obsessively thinking about it. That's when your default mode network is active. Now, on the other hand, what happens when the task positive network is active? When you're doing some goal oriented activities. Now, recall, before meditation, we are advised that we remind ourselves what is the goal, why we are doing meditation in the very first place. So the first line of uh, the prayer meditation that we have introduced to you all says, "O Master, you are the real goal of human life." So the purpose for which I am meditating is that I want to become a better version of myself. I want to bring mastery in myself. So I'm recalling that there is a higher entity which has a mastered uh, or the perfection in it, uh, to perfect balance in it, and I want to achieve that. So now, anyway, when you have done this prayer in the very beginning, you are as a whole engaging in a task positive activity. Okay. Then task positive network is engaged when you do problem solving and decision making. Okay. Then we have sustained attention, focus on task without distraction. When you are enjoying some work and you are so engrossed that you are not even realizing that somebody is standing behind you, you have fully engaged your task positive network. And we want to increase this connection, right? All of us want that this network should be very strengthened. And finally, task positive network gives us cognitive control. It helps us regulate our thoughts and emotions consciously. So again, in a brief, what is the consequence of having an overactive DMN or default mode network? You will face increased stress and anxiety. You will have reduced attention and focus. You will be overthinking. You will be doubting yourself and you will procrastinate. So now, how does meditation impact the DMN? Heartfulness meditation practice reduce DMN dominance by reducing self-referential thoughts because it is detaching you from self-centered narratives. If you recall again, when you're meditating, these thoughts will come, other thoughts, right? You are told not to pay attention to them, treat them as uninvited guest, bring it back to the idea that you are meditating. And when you bring back to the idea that I'm meditating, you're breaking the cycle of mind wandering. So, what happens is in heartfulness meditation, you will actually realize a good meditation is when you will be deeply absorbed and you are not able to recall the thoughts that came during meditation. That's number one. You may say that I had a lot of thoughts, but if somebody asks you, tell me how many thoughts you have, tell me what were those thoughts about, then you will struggle to tell all the thoughts that you had. Why it happens? Because obviously you were successful in ignoring many of the thoughts, and that's why you're not able to recall them. Okay. And when you bring your focus back to the idea that I'm meditating, you have broken the cycle of one chain of thought. Again, your mind will wander, and that's very natural. But now you will be thinking of something else, another chain of thoughts. And again, when you remind yourself, I'm meditating, that chain is also broken. Now, in doing all of this, a very interesting thing is happening again. See, if I am meditating and I'm this default network, default mode, and task positive arts network are getting switched over and over again and again, again and again. What is happening is, when in a real life situation, if I suffer a setback, I will be depressed, I will be sad, I will be stressed out, I will for a moment think negatively. It will happen. Again, this is also natural. But because I have been practicing meditation, I will be able to bounce back from this adverse situation. If a person who is not meditating and they face these kind of situations, negative events happen in their life, many times what happens, they just get stuck in that. They're not able to come out of this negative ruminating or uh, depressive thoughts, and it's a downward spiral. They just keep uh, getting sucked into it. Whereas people who are meditating, they will also face all these situations, but very soon they can bounce back and say, okay, what happened, happened. Now let me see what I can do next. What is in my hand that I can do? So this is what having resilience means. So if you can bounce back quickly, that's the measure of your resilience. That is the measure of your emotional regulation. You have managed your emotion and now you are able to move forward. Okay. Now, what is the benefit you are harnessing when you are engaging this task positive network again and again? Obviously, your attention control will improve. You will strengthen your ability to concentrate. You will boost your working memory. It helps retain and process information. Okay, and as I said, you will develop, because obviously you're practicing meta awareness. So you will develop meta awareness. You will improve your decision making, responsiveness, because you will be able to think 360-degree of all the scenarios that you have to take into consideration before you make a decision. So now, just to summarize the whole thing that we have been talking about, what are the benefits of meditation? You will experience reduced rumination and anxiety, greater clarity of thought, emotional stability, increased resilience, improved attention control, because it will strengthen your ability to concentrate, it will boost your working memory, it will help retain and process information, it will develop meta awareness, that is, improve your decision making and responsiveness. So, this is why you should never worry about that you had thoughts during meditation. A lot of people stop meditation because they say, hey, I could not concentrate, I was thinking all the time, I had a lot of thoughts, so I'm not able to meditate, and they will stop. But actually, if you have thought, pat yourself, you have a healthy mind, that's why you are able to think. Okay, so another thing, remember, in all of this, heartfulness meditation offers you help in the form of a yogic energy, which helps you go deep within yourself. Okay. So, because it acts as a carrier and also as a nourishment for your heart, you're able to better ignore these thoughts. Sometimes these thoughts can be very uh, overpowering, and you don't want to even deal with them because they are so negative, so emotionally draining. So we understand that. And that's why the pranahuti, this yogic energy of heartfulness, is what makes this whole practice, this whole offering very dynamic. And this yogic energy is the most unique aspect of heartfulness. When you experience it, you will be able to uh, meditate better. You will be able to ignore better. And best of all, when you come out of your meditation, you will see that you are not able to recall the thoughts that came during meditation, and which is a good thing, right? So let's meditate now. We have Sujata Mishra with us today. She is a meditation trainer. She works with Coca-Cola. She is currently working as head of cyber security in Coca. She will be leading this meditation session now. So as we meditate every day, we will meditate the same way. You will gently close your eyes. You will bring this idea that the source of divine light is present in my heart and is pulling my attention within. Okay. So when she says, please start meditation, please start. And when she says, that's all, you will conclude your meditation. Remember, thoughts will come, ignore them. Okay. And when you find yourself, you have drifted away, remind yourself, I am meditating. Okay. So, Sujata, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll directly start meditation. Please start meditation. That's all. Please stay in same position for 2 more minutes and observe your condition.
This is the time to see how you're feeling at this minute. Now that the meditation is over, what state I am in. Recognize your state. This is your meditative state. You want to carry this state with you. You want to keep it with you as long as possible. So if you pay attention to it, it will become stronger and stay with you longer. Recognize it and then hold it like a miser. As miser holds the penny, it's not easy for a miser to let go of even a single penny. So hold on to your condition, your state. Don't let anything take it away from you. You can ask this question to yourself. Now that the meditation is over, if you had thoughts, are you able to recall all of them? So ask yourself, am I able to recall my thoughts? Second question, if I had thoughts and I'm able to recall all of them, or several of them, why you had so many different thoughts? Why you are not meditating on some one other thought? I mean, if you were thinking about your office only, just one thought, then I will agree that you did not meditate. But if you had other thoughts, and let's say you were paying attention also to them, still these thoughts were going, then only second thought came, right? So actually you were able to release these various thoughts that are wandering in your mind. And a Harvard study found out that we on average have 70,000 thoughts in a day. It's just that we are not aware of them. But because we were meditating, we became aware of them. So we have reached the end of our time. I don't know if we had any questions. Can we take questions? Or how do we want to proceed today?
right, sir. Thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for delivering this wonderful session and making this session very insightful. I would like to thank to my participants who have joined the session, and also would like to thank Mr. Deepak, sir, for being with us throughout the session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shall we conclude the session, sir?
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. With this, we are concluding this session. Thank you so much. Thank you all.